Shiva Paramashiva Hara 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 Mahadev Nithyananda Shiva Shiva
Nithyananda Paramashivam
Nithyananda Paramashivam
Nithyananda Paramashivam
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvatitam Gaganasatrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami.
Nithyanandam. So my name is Darshini Nithyanandan from Toronto, and I have two children in the e-Gurukul that attend daily, my son Sarvesh and my daughter Nandika, and they're enjoying the space so much. So thank you, Swamiji, for such a beautiful opportunity. Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam, I'm Soumya Sole from Toronto. I have two of my kids attending Gurukul every day, Shivani and Shakti, 6-year and 1.5-year-old respectively. So they are enjoying the sessions a lot as well.
Nithyanandam. My name is Lakshmi, and my kids, my daughter Madhuri, she's attending the Gurukul, and she love it and she enjoying the Gurukul. Nithyanandam.
Thank you so much. So now we will listen to Swamiji's satsang, a short clip, and then we get to share with each other our understandings and clicks.
My Gurukul is 100% free. Not only I am teaching them English, maths, science, I am teaching them true history. I am teaching them the real powers and possibilities they can manifest. I am teaching them life. Only thing, I am not doing the stupid things which you guys have designed for a generalized way. Understand? All generalization creates more blind spots. When there is a Google Earth available, Google Map is available, why will I make them memorize the capitals of all the countries and states? Macaulay's time it was not there, so you have to memorize. Capital of India is Delhi and capital of Tamil Nadu is Chennai. You have to memorize. Now there is a Google Earth and Google Map. Just Google it, that's all. They need to be taught Googling. I am only removing all those stupid blind spots become part of the education because of the generalization. Understand? All generalization is faulty generalization. All generalization is faulty generalization.
So I now invite each and every one of you to share your understanding, what is sticking out to you, the click that you're having. So Madarshini? Yes.
Yes, so I really enjoy watching Swamiji talk in this clip because the passion that he uses to verbalize this idea shows us how much he loves and cherishes his Gurukul and what he would do for his Gurukul. See, Swamiji talks about, what is the point in having kids memorize facts when those things are readily available to us? We just have to Google it. What he's saying, we have to teach our children how to Google. That's the truth. And, one thing that really stands out to me, and I had actually this click earlier just today, when Swamiji in this video says we have to teach possibilities. And, I was looking through the Ontario curriculum for schools where they're talking about probability and that we have to teach kids the language of things are impossible. And that is something that our school system teaches kids, that there are certain things that are impossible. So Swamiji will never say that. Swamiji holds the space that not just us, but our kids and the whole of humanity have to understand, not just believe, but understand everything and anything is possible. And that's the importance that we have to teach in Gurukul, because we won't get that in our schools. So it's we have this expectation in schools that kids have to know provinces and territories of Canada, but why? What are they going to gain by taking this information and memorizing it and have it memorized for the next 20 years? It's such a waste of our time. It's a waste of our space. There's no point, because we can Google this information. We can even Google facts about history. We can Google facts about geography, math, science, language. So let us always just teach kids possibility of everything. And that's the click I got when Swamiji says the word possibility. It hits me the most, because that is the most important thing we must teach our children, that everything and anything is possible.
Thank you so much, Ma Darshini. Ma Soumya, you want to share your understanding?
Sure, Ma. So the most the thing that struck me the most is about teaching the kids not just English, maths, science, and all the usual subjects, but the real history of our humankind, or our culture especially. So I have always believed that it's not just enough to have the theoretical knowledge, but we need to be given information about the actual the science of living itself. So when Swamiji says that he's not just teaching those regular stuff, but also teaching the how to live life. So that's the part that is more impressive for me. And I have always been looking for education that supports this kind of system. For me, I did my schooling in Swami Ramakrishna and Vivekananda Mission Associated School, and I remember learning all those scriptures, and my language, second language was Sanskrit, and I kind of used to feel that it wasn't useful. Only after coming to Swamiji, I'm able to understand its importance, and I wanted my children as well to uh, grow up in the same kind of environment for them to shine. And being outside India, I never got that chance. And after having watched Swamiji speak about Gurukul, and especially in this video, so when he says that in spite of regular things, we are giving the actual kind of education to kids. I'm very much impressed with that, and I I strongly recommend and encourage every parent to kind of think about in this angle. So in modern society, many people hold like higher degree and like whatnot, PhDs, MS, and post PhDs, or like many things. But the actual uh, test comes when what we do when a tough situation comes up to us. So in that case, whatever we learned, more than that, this kind of education will what matter. So when we are like dropped from, say we are like in a peak, and no we are facing some difficult situations, during that time, it's only this kind of situation that will help us, even for us to be able to find our own self. For everything, whatever like Swamiji revealed in this video makes so much sense, and I am so grateful that we are in that space of Swamiji and able to listen to the powerful cognitions every day.
Thank you for sharing, Ma Soumya. Ma Lakshmi?
Yes. The Swamiji is saying the Gurukul is totally 100% free, and it is real powers. He is showing how to manifest the kids, how they can manifest, and everything is possibility. Like they don't need to memorize anything. So he said he wants to remove those blind spots. So like people, we all need, like in the life, like people suffering and so many things happening. So in this time, like if they kids are involved in Gurukul, so they know how to handle the life when they become grown. So they can take the things easily. They can achieve anything they want by manifesting. So so many things is teaching by Swamiji in the Gurukul. So it's very, very important each and every kid to participate or involved in the Gurukul. It's really, really helps for the whole world.
Thank you, Malakshmi, for sharing. I'll also share my understanding. What strikes me the most, actually, it's I've had a direct experience of what Swamiji is talking about in this video, where he tells, you know, what is the point of making the child memorize the different countries and all this. And actually, I used to tutor kids. I used to do tutoring. And I remember that one day I went to that child's house and his exam was on a geography exam, and he had to memorize every single country on the map and the number of pages he had to print just to over and over and over again, just write those country names in the map. And at that point I was already with Swamiji, and I had already heard Swamiji talk about that modern education system and how dead it is. Basically, it's a dead system. It doesn't encourage kids to expand their possibility. And so I was witnessing the whole thing and looking at that child just, you know, writing over and over again the same country name. And what a waste of life. That was my cognition at that point. And I was looking at the whole thing and I was even questioning, what am I doing? Like, what am I actually helping? Like, am I helping this child to get a good grade that, you know, he knows like where each country is on the map? Like, it's completely useless. That was my understanding at that time. And, you know, like all these things that are taught in the modern education system, like problem solving. Okay, mathematics, problem solving. Yes, what about problem solving of real problems? Like a situation that happens on the like human experience, emotional experience. What happens then? Like the kids are completely handicapped. Actually, the modern system makes the kids handicapped on that level. And the cognition that I have, the understanding that I have now, is that it's extremely violent. Actually, the modern education system is extremely violent because it kills that possibility for the child and keeps that child in such a small, like narrow frame. And the visualization that comes to me is like this, you know, you draw like a box, like lines, and this is where the child has to fit in. And same way when Swamiji tells the faulty generalization, it makes me think of, see how every child is put in that same context and everybody has to be doing the same thing in the same way, and they're all graded on that same task, and completely dismissing like the uniqueness of each being. And that teaches the child to, actually it drives the child away from their own purpose. The child gets lost. The child loses sight of, why am I here? See, the modern education system will never encourage the child to discover, why am I here? It's always about, and it's about, you know, even the child learns through the modern education system to evaluate himself based on what others are doing because of that faulty generalization system, which is extremely detrimental. And that is why, based on my experience understanding at this point, I feel the modern education system is extremely violent. But when we hear Swamiji speak and the life, like Darshini was telling, like the love he has for his Gurukul, he's the most pro-life. And it's like the visualization of a beautiful lotus. Like each child in the Gurukul is this beautiful lotus and who just blooms with the sun rays. So that is what is coming in my inner space.
Yes, Ma, I'll I'll add to that as well. You know, in our Western education system, we believe, I mean, I'm a teacher, so we as teachers, we were taught that children have multiple learning styles. So a child can learn visually, a child could learn just through hearing, a child could learn through art, a child could learn through music, A child can learn kinesthetically, meaning through their body use. And we have this understanding that children could learn in many ways, but why are we assessing their knowledge in one way, right? A child could learn so many different ways. Like I myself, I'm a visual learner. I like to see what's happening. So then why, when I'm assessed or my kids are assessed or anyone's assessed, why is it just pen and paper and test, 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 test? So there's a bit of a hypocrisy that's going on there, where there's so many ways a kid could learn, but we'll only do this one way where we can assess them. But if you see the Gurukul, and if you ever get to sit in the space of Gurukul and see the kids express in multiple ways, and we understand that as powers. Some children will see. Some people will hear Swamiji reveal answers. Some people will taste the answers. Some people will smell the answers. Some people will feel it in some part of their body. And we accept this as the truth because that is how we're expressing. The same way we are all learning differently, we will all express differently too. So I see so much issues with this school system, and I can understand why Swamiji is so passionate about the Gurukul, because it allows us to express our best possibilities in the way our body knows how to. And it's really sad that our school system will only test in one standard way. You'll never, it's very rare that you will see, in the 10th grade or the 11th grade, in these upper level systems, where they're learning through the body. How will you test math through the body? They think math is just writing on a piece of paper. Also, and another thing, where we were taught that we had to memorize so many things, so many facts, because we may not be able to have access to those information. So I remember going to school, I had to learn multiplication. I had to memorize it because my teacher said, you won't always have a calculator with you. But look at the world we live in now. Every single person who has a phone has a calculator with them. So why do I have to memorize my multiplications when I could just plug in that information? So there's a lot of issues with this, with the school system, that I, as a parent and as a teacher, can very clearly see. And I really understand why Swamiji is very passionate about Gurukul being the #1 choice for our kids. And I really hold a space for everyone to be part of the Gurukul system.
Sure, Ma. Yeah, so one thing that came up to my mind when Madarshini and you were talking is about coexistence. How modern education does not teach about that. Like, it's usually like relative. So if someone is performing better, the other person should perform even better. Only then they are considered better, or like that kind of mindset that we are developing right from the young age. It is actually destroying the kids' potential, because they tend to lose their originality. They don't know what they really like. They just want to mix up with the crowd. They want to they want people to recognize them, so they tend to do things that other people recognize, rather than realizing what they really like or what they really want to, which is kind of self-destructive, and also it's not good for the society as well, because it's not doing the right thing for any of them. So that is also one of the things. Also, like, the children are not taught to work as a team. So in future, that is what is actually more important. So together, when everyone works together, they will be able to do more stuff than than working as an individual.
My Lakshmi, yes.
Yes, ma. So, the modern education is like giving the kids like a harder time, like a stress or tension. They feel that, right? So when it's pushing them in that way. But when they go into the Swamiji's way, like he shows like how to do yoga, whatever, like yoga and stuff, then they do is make their mind feel calm and peace, relax, and they can, the yoga is the greatest um, thing, right? If the kids they can keep their body and mind healthy. the both in a same way, like so it is really helps them. They can achieve anything what they want. So it's really helps the yoga. I really like yoga, so I have experiences too. I'm doing every day, so in that way also I'm telling. So it's a really true thing. I'm telling the Swamiji's trying to show us the way, like how the Gurukul is great. So it's really true. That's all what I can tell. Yeah.
And yes, Swamiji's teaching, Swamiji's Gurukul is so practical, and it really fulfills all the dimensions of the being, so that being can realize itself to its full potential, full possibility, and realize I am Paramashiva, because Paramashiva is the ultimate, being God, realizing that I am divine, that ultimate divine reality resides inside of me already. And that is what Gurukul will make the child realize and reconnect to. Yes. So thank you so much, all of you, Madarshini, Masomya, Malakshmi, all the viewers. Thank you so much for being part of this beautiful space, and our gratitude to our beloved Guru, Swamiji, for creating this space for all of us to come together and share our understandings and grow, have conscious breakthrough. So thank you so much, and come back for our next video. Vakyartha Sadas. Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam, thank you.
Nithyanandam.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukar Panamastu. Om Nithyanandam.